Everybody else is heading to Hawaii. Yeah, I like that little echo for effect, like a reverb. Except us. We're gonna go to Vegas. We just want to test out this baby. We don't need to be up in it all day long. Let's get going. Here's what I'm talking about. Although not a lot of people are heading from the LA area, really the event down into Hawaii is either a departure out of Portland or a departure out of SeaTac. And as you can see, most of them, I think, are picking. Most of them are picking Seattle. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, 16 departures out of Portland, 25 out of Seattle. And you can see they're on their way down here to the Hawaiian Islands, Honolulu, and Kahului. Kahului. Yeah, I'm terrible at these names. Love flying down there though, and we may sneak down there later on today. Hard telling, but we're just gonna test out the 737. It's the old school PMDG 737, but we haven't run it since we have the new computer set up. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go San Diego up to Las Vegas. It's a little bit of a funky departure, by the way. It's this is the Padres 2 departure, and as you can see, it shoots us up the coastline here, essentially over by LAX, and then we head out to the northeast, and looks like they're landing to the west on the uh, the Kepik 6 arrival. So we'll go through all that stuff here as we get a little bit closer. But um, yeah, hope things are good in your world. Happy Saturday. Have a Saturday off. It's kind of nice. I'm looking forward to it. Dakota Pilot, yeah, just a little San Diego to Las Vegas trip here for this bird. So looks like I closed my checklist. Sorry about that. Let me pull this up. Hopefully you're up there somewhere, Dakota. Maybe you're on the way also to Hawaii for the festivities. All right, been a while since I've been through this checklist, so bear with me as I stumble along. We need battery. We need to connect the ground. I'm not going to worry about the GSX, passenger loading and all that good stuff. All right, ground's connected, so we now have ground power. We'll take that. Turn all this stuff on here as well. Pass the seatbelt. Okay, IRS, excuse me, IRS to nav. Don't need to set a VOR. And what do we have? What frequencies do we have? We have LA Center, 2580. We'll certainly turn that in here. Hopefully those guys will hang around for a little bit. Again, they're not part of this event, but I think they realize that there'll be some people wanting to depart from LA and San Diego. Yep, there we go. Sure enough, there we go. All right, let's get.
Yeah, I'm going to be closing up here.
Oh, well, there you go.
Seeing a squawk. It's Squawk 7144 was continued.
That's a bummer, but sometimes these things happen. So
7140,
we'll just have to
7144.
do our best here. Position initialization. We are at San Diego, and we
1739.
are going to go to the next page, grab the GPS coordinates, make sure those line up. They do. And we'll go to the route page. We're going to go from San Diego to Las Vegas. And we are Southwest Airlines 1402. Alright, we're not going to worry about the runway just yet, but let's jump in here. And, well, bummer. That's the way it goes, though. Alright, so departure, we're going to be runway 27. It's going to be the Padres 2, there we go, with the chicken transition. Because it feels like you're playing chicken with those guys out of LAX there, maybe. Alright, let's go to next page here, the route page. We'll put in the next waypoint, CB. Then we head to Yala. And missing, this could be a part of the arrival here. M-I-S-E-N. We'll put it in just in case. Yeah, this is going to be the one that's closest to us. Arrival into Las Vegas. Again, they're arriving to the... They're in West Ops here. Aloha, Aries the Hound. You must be heading down to the islands today. We are not, although maybe we should have. No, I don't quite have an 8-hour block today, unfortunately. And I'm not a big long haul fan. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not. You know, that stuff looks kind of cool on paper, but then like after the 3rd hour of it, you're kind of, well, you guys know I've made you watch me for 3 hours at a time. That's bad enough. Okay, we need an arrival into, now I got sidetracked there. Areas, I blame you. Airport diagram, let's just take a look. 28 right, 28 or 26 right or left. I think we'll probably be assigned, we would be assigned ILS 26 left. We're going to call it the Preno transition. And again, what did we say? The Kepik 6. And yep, sure enough, missing. Alright, that looks good, Let's activate that route. Let's put this on plan, and let's close that. Let's step through this route just to make sure there's nothing crazy here. Started at San Diego. We head up the coast to the north, then we head northeast. We come in, we're going to make essentially left-hand traffic pattern into 26 left. That looks good. Where's the chat? Oh no, don't tell me that. Chat box. It's not showing up, huh? I didn't realize that. Well, I don't know. I don't know where the chat box is. Type something else. I'll watch. Should be right over here. Oh yeah, there we go. It's all good. Alright, don't worry me like that, Downwind Sim. Don't rattle me like that, man. Okay. Fuel. We need to do all that good stuff here now that we have our... We normally would be getting clearance at this time, but we, as you heard, don't have any ATC. So we're going to hop in here. Well, yeah, this one doesn't have that. I'm sure there's probably something that you could put in this one, but wait, where'd I go? There we go, fuel. I think about a third of a tank ought to get us there. And we're just going to do, for payload, we're going to do a random. And, oh, pretty full today. All right, cool. Now we can go to, and we would be getting, like I say, clearance. We would have a squawk code at this point, so we're going to say 2200. We are going to switch over to 2280. I think there's a couple other guys on the ground here with me at San Diego. So I want to make sure we're talking. And we can always jump back to that if LA comes back in there. All right, altimeter setting. Yep, let's put that in real quick. Courtesy active sky. And it looks like we are 270 at 5. Beautiful 63-degree day here at San Diego. And 3008. Nothing else really to talk about. 3008. Let's put that in here. Spin it around. All right. And now let's finish this up here. A cost index of 44. I'm going to put a couple tons of reserve in there. It does the fuel weight, zero fuel weight for me. We filed 310. Our cruise winds, we can look at, again, active sky, and it's telling me 324 at 43. All right, everything else looks good. And one limit, we will go ahead, we will derate. Round up your temp, and then the flaps 5 departure gives me a trim of 5.1. We'll spin this guy down until we're just over 5.
San Diego traffic,
sounds
Frontier
good.
Flight 82, taxiing runway 27 via Bravo.
V2 is 149, so we'll spin that up V2 plus 10. There was some traffic on frequency. That's working. That's good. And all right, that's it for
San Diego
that.
traffic Southwest 1028, leaving the pattern to the northwest. San Diego.
All right, yaw damper will come on. Fuel pumps are on. Whoops, that's electrical. Sorry, fuel pumps coming on. Don't have anything in the center fuel pump, so we'll leave those off. Window heat on. Packs to auto. Let's get a little bit of AC going here. Flight altitude going to be 310. And I have no idea what Las Vegas is. It's got to be 1,000 or so, doesn't it? Oh, 2181. All right, there you go. We'll call it 2200. We will, let's see, position lights is on steady. Ignition, we're heading east, so I'm going to leave the ignition on the left side. And all right, let's set a few things up. Get the flight directors turned on. Runway heading. Actually, this will be a good time to take a closer look at that departure. So let's pull that up here. Where did I put it? Sky vector. All right, so we need, it's the Padres 2 departure. And so we will be departing on a 275 heading. And then we're coming up here and we're going to grab a hold of this this little northerly up the coast track here. So let's see, any major notes here. I think we have, what did we say, chicken transition. So yep, this is all us here. Climb 275, then make a right turn direct Winfield. Then on a 296 track, we head to Colonel, and we stay on that 296 to Gwynn, at or above 8,000, and then 308 to Padres, and then maintain 15,000, expect higher 10 minutes after. All right. So top altitude is 15,000, but again, without ATC, we'll probably clear ourselves up to that 310 fairly quickly. Just one less thing to think about here. All right, Black Fox 403 checking in. Hello, Black Fox. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So Downwind Sim shared a plug-in for X-Plane, and now it's official. You're going to be able to truly see how sketchy my landings are. Fortunately, it's not yet, or he has not yet found anything for P3D, so I am still safe for a while as far as figuring out what my landing rates are with this bad boy, or with any of these planes in P3D. Okay, so 275 and 15,000, I guess. To make a long story short, that's what we need there for heading and altitude. Initial heading and initial altitude, that is. We will turn the auto brake to RTO. Let's clear the fuel.
San Diego traffic, Frontier
Just have a
flight
look here
82,
at
runway 27 via the Zoo.
all right. Hydraulic pressure is a little low on A. Yep. But that's close to 90%. I think we can live with that. Get that set back to engine so we can get that thing turned on. Let's get the APU going. All right. P3D, fortunately, is not his department. So Dakota Pilot, though, I know he knows P3D inside and out, and he probably could figure something that could display our landing rate. He's gonna get his research team on that. And if he finds us something, what the heck, we'll throw it in there. This plane's nice because you can kind of gauge your landing just by how many things jiggle and shake and squeak, and you can really hear it when you hit hard. All right, APU gauge is alive. Ooh, missing my nap to do this test, by the way. I've been in a little bit this morning working on some scenery, getting ready for the Nowhere Fast flight that's coming up. We'll talk a little bit about that once we get airborne. We've got the APU going. Let's get the doors closed. And I'm going to check on something. I had a surprise happen a while back. It was interesting. I had a cargo door that was open. All right, those are all closed, closed. Yep. Yep. All right. We're good. Just look outside just to make sure. Oh, there's somebody right next to us. Cool. Yep, those doors are all closed. Those doors are all... Yep, those look good. Anyway, that just wreaked havoc, obviously, with my pressurization, and it just totally... It was not good. All right, we are ready to see if...
San Diego traffic, Frontier flight
There we go,
82,
pushback.
direct jetty on the Z2 1000 for final cruise.
We would like to... We'll use that. We're going to do a nose... What are we going to do? Nose left. Yeah, tail right. Let's see what... This is going to be quite a path. Look at this. I'm hoping it's going to take me all the way out here and get me lined up. We'll see. When this works good, when it works like it's supposed to, it's pretty dang sweet. But it's moody.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Now it's beeping at me because it needs me to do something. I don't know what it needs me to do. No, I know what it needs me to do. I need to just disconnect the APU and all that good stuff. Alright, so there it's working correctly. Uh-oh. Now did it cancel me out? There we go. We're rolling. Alright, I think we're good. This will be a good view to see how well it pushes me back. Alright, so Dakota has found something.
Departure check completed. Bypass bin
I don't know if I'll be able to download that here
Parking brakes.
sort of as we're going, but alright, parking.
Commencing push.
Okay,
All
let's
engines clear.
let's
Start
take a look here and see what it looks like as we push. I mean, I bust on GSX, but it's an amazing bit of code, and when it's configured and it works, it's pretty darn cool. And if it just takes me back here and points my nose the wrong way, then I guess that's my fault. I was hoping it would take me all the way out here, like I said, but we'll see. So, Black Fox, you use this product here that Dakota has shared. I'm guessing it's not something that you can install on the fly, though. You're probably going to have to, right? Install it and restart OBS and all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll mess around with it, and maybe we can have it going, because we still have quite a few P3D planes that we need to set up. Whoa, holy cow, man. That guy. Yeah, doggone it. Yeah, so didn't quite get me out where I wanted, but that's okay. They're going to go ahead and take the pin out and all that good stuff. We can go ahead and get our engine started in the meantime. And let's see if I remember how to do that. Alright, so yaw damper is on. Fuel pumps, we already did that. Alright, down to my next set here. Transponder needs to come on.
Unlocking gear.
Do I have that on now? Yes, I do. Packs are going to come off. Anti-collision lights need to come on. And I'm going to do the start number 2 first. There we go. That N2 is coming up. We're looking for 25%.
Disconnected. Bypass bin removed.
Getting there, and introduce the fuel. All right. Thanks, fellas. I think I can still make this turn. I should have, I guess, if I was here again, I would just push back with the nose to the right.
Right is clear.
But live and learn. Wait for the engine start switch to click back to off. Hopefully the guy next to me won't be in too big a hurry. Alright, here we go. Engine 1. Spooling up. Yeah, Dakota Pilot, that might be another issue for me too. I haven't done it a lot, although that didn't look too bad. Okay. Well, we're semi-pushed, I guess. Okay, that's that. We can go ahead. We can turn the APU off now. We can put the packs back on. Close the ISO valves. Close the APU bleed. Starter switches will go to continuous. We'll go flaps 5. Okay. We are squawking Charlie. We'll put the taxi and turn off lights on. And we'll put the traffic on right here. Oops. Wrong button. Right here. Alright, let's make our call. San Diego traffic, Southwest 1402, taxiing runway 27 on Alpha. San Diego. So, a little bit of a turnaround here. This thing doesn't handle too bad. This is an Orbix scenery, so it's a good one to test. And it does look like it's a little bit better as far as the frame rates and the stuttering. I do feel like I get a little bit of that when I pan from left to right. X-Plane does perform better for me. It does. I've noticed less stuttering, I guess, than oh, maybe you're I'm sorry, you're asking Dakota Pilot. Never mind, down when I should have read up a little bit. I know Dakota Pilot's been working a lot on trying to get his, oh, I guess it's Bravo that I'm taxiing on, trying to get his P3D configured. But I have found P3D is it's weird, because when I had my old CPU, not the one I just upgraded from, but the computer, I should say, that I upgraded from to get to this one, P3D ran better than X-Plane. In fact, I couldn't even try to run X-Plane because it was just impossible. It needed too much. But now that I've got a faster processor, I've found that X-Plane is much smoother overall. That could also be, though, that it's hard to compare settings. You know what I mean? High settings in P3D and high settings in X-Plane, I mean, it's not exactly apples to apples. Well, and Dakota, I'm with you. I'm not done flying P3D by any means, not for a long shot, but I'm done buying new add-ons for P3D, that's for sure. I'm gonna focus my money, my resources on the machine I'm using, and whatever downwind sim tells me to buy for X-Plane. Yeah, and so I think I may have things turned up on the ground a little bit higher, as far as well, I know I don't have traffic turned. I have AI traffic turned all the way down on the ground in P3D, whereas it's turned on in X-Plane, which I know AI traffic is, or ground traffic, that miscellaneous stuff. I know those things are killers for frame rate, but I think as far as like having night lighting and you know, building scenery density and things like that, I think I may have it turned up a little higher in P3D than I do in X-Plane, even though I've tried to kind of find the equivalent, you know, kind of a moderate to moderate high setting. No, I'm not the king of add-ons. Remember, I'm an add-on snob. Had I not upgraded in the order I did, Black Box, I might be in the same boat as you. I enjoyed FSX immensely. I had it running pretty well on a very old underpowered machine. But now that I've got the scenery building bug, I would never be able to go back. I don't know what I'm going to do if Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 renders backcountry airstrips better than you know, P3D and FSX. If they accurately render those airstrips, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I've had so much fun building just those simple mountain airstrips. It's been a ton of fun. Surely that knowledge will benefit me in the future somehow, right? Okay, well, I need to get focused here. I've got a bunch of guys that aren't using voice unicom for some reason, and I don't know that yeah, it looks like they're all kind of up around LA. Let's get ourselves lined up and configured, and then we'll be on our way. Again, we're going to make a right-hand turn, direct our first waypoint there, Winfield, as soon as we take off. So let's just get ourselves set. Oh, I forgot all this stuff. I need to turn weather on. I like to turn the stations on. I want to make sure that we arm the auto throttle. I want to put LNAV on. I want to put the terrain on. This needs to be blinking. Position strobe is on. These are on continuous. Landing lights are on. Taxi lights can come off. San Diego traffic, Southwest 1402, ready for departure, runway 27, San Diego. Let's just wait a second, make sure no one's on approach here. Not hearing anybody. Set the timer. Just a little bit over an hour for this flight, by the way, about an hour 20 minutes. San Diego to Las Vegas. Welcome aboard, everybody. Good to have you. There's somebody down on the other end getting ready to taxi our way. A little bit of a stutter there as we make that turn. Runway loading in. All right, here we go, guys. Increase the throttles about 40%. We're stable. Toga. Gear up. Bug up. Flaps 2 selected. Flaps 1 selected. Flaps up. A little bit of a low ceiling here. Let's engage the autopilot. I was hoping to engage the autopilot. Could show you around before we got into the soup, but apparently I'm not going to be able to. Darn it. All right. Okay, we're direct Winfield right now. We're following that magenta line. There we go. All right. Let's hop out and take a look around as we head out. Oh, that was a slow load in. Holy cow, yeah. Wow. That wasn't great. That is beautiful though. Nice job, Orbix. Okay. We are climbing out through 4,000. Everything looks great at this point. Go ahead and lock the gear and set the auto brake to off. And check the chat here. Giddy up. Yeah, so the Dakota Pilot, I'm with you. I think the wait and see approach for the new flight sim is definitely in the cards for me. Let's let them get a version or two out there. Let's let them find the bugs. Let's let's see how that all plays out, and then we'll jump in.
United 7004, taxiing to runway 27 via Bravo.
He didn't go via Alpha like I did because he actually read the chart, and it's Bravo. But yeah, I'm gonna wait and see. I'm having too much fun in X-Plane and P3D still. I just like, again, I like the competition. I think it's going to be fun to see what that does to X-Plane, because X-Plane has really, I think, has really motivated P3D to improve a lot of different things. But X-Plane, I think, has kind of had this superiority complex that, hey, we're the new platform on the block, and our our coding is way better than P3D's, yada yada yada. But in the meantime, there's a lot of stuff they still need to figure out. Okay, 10,000. We went ahead. We're clearing ourselves up to 310. Whoop! I'm in trouble with the wife. Hold on. All right, I'm not in that much trouble. A few things on the honeydew list. Don't let me forget, I have to go check the dryer here in about 45 minutes. Okay. So anyway, I don't remember where we were with the conversation, but I'm looking forward to seeing the X-Plane people have to step it up just a little bit. They've got a fantastic product. They're really off to a great start. They've got developers that are working extremely hard, but there's some major issues that they need to address. Yep, the pricing model, subscription based. I don't mind that. I'll be honest. I mean, it's nice to have a one-time fee, but if that one-time fee you have to pay again when you upgrade, I don't like that. I'd rather pay like with my Photoshop. I pay $10 a month, and but I'm always running the most current updated version of the product, and I think that's worth it. Now, I don't know that I'd pay, you know, $29.99 a month for Flight Sim 2020, but you know, I might pay 10 bucks a month for it. I'd probably pay 10 bucks a month for it. So that is, Air is the Hounds brings up a great point. Do you choose between good scenery or a good simulator experience? And I think the masses have spoken on that one already, because I'm trying to remember which one it was that had the world essentially was tied directly into Orbix scenery. And I think it was the flight sim platform that basically was the end where they just sort of stopped developing it. And that was I think what they found is it didn't matter how nice everything looked if the simulator itself was pretty simple, and the systems weren't modeled with great depth, and it just wasn't all that popular. So they basically stuck a fork in it and said, all right, we're done. Agent Bravo 7, welcome. Good to have you. I didn't get a chance to check and see where you were at. I was Downwind Sim had distracted me, so I wasn't able to watch any of the previous Twitch streams that were going on. I did see I had a notification though that you were up in the air having fun. Yeah, it's not exactly prop culture today. Yeah, we have our propeller jammed in a little tiny can and more of a fan, I guess, but no, it's again, it's all part of just trying to make sure all of my old add-ons are running with the new CPU. So this is the next one on the list to check. You will be happy to know, Agent Bravo 7, that I did break down and buy the SIVA for the 727, the FlyJ Sim 727, and a question for you actually about that, a user support question. So if I install that, and it's a pretty simple installation, you just have to put it in the plugins folder in the 727 Advanced folder. But does that then, how do you get the SIVA to work in the 100 and the freighter version? Do you have to also you know, unpack it in those two airplanes folders too, or does it somehow tie into that 727 Advanced folder? Kenny, welcome to the stream. What does the SIVA do? Well, it's an inertial navigation system. It's based on latitude and longitude, and it's a really, really amazing piece of technology. But it's basically GPS before GPS was even a thing, and it allows you, if you watch my streams in the DC-8 or the L1011, you'll see me using the SIVA. And it just allows you to basically track waypoints using latitude and longitude. So super, yeah, it's INS, right? I mean, I think you go back and forth in what you call it, but essentially the same thing. So yeah, it was 12 bucks, and that gets you, I mean, I'm assuming that's like a universal X-plane SIVA, because it didn't say necessarily that it was, you know, just for FlyJ Sim. It's called X SIVA, so I'm assuming it might be, you know, I don't know what other airplanes besides the 727 use the SIVA, but maybe there's more. All right. So each plugin, okay, so that sounds good. That's kind of what I thought. I'll mess around with that a little bit later on, Agent Bravo 7, but thanks for the confirmation. Much appreciated. Well, Dakota, you have time to go out to the org store, pick up the SIVA, toss it in there, and get it all configured, and then you can still fly. You have time. I was kicking around trying to fly the 727 out to Hawaii, and I think I could have made it. It's right at the edge of the limit as far as range goes, but then I just said, you know, 8 hours, nah, I don't think so. I'd rather do a little hour-and-a-half flight with this plane and then maybe come back later on and do something else propeller driven. If Honolulu Center is going to be online, we may buzz down there and do something in the maybe in the Duke, or maybe the A2A 182, or maybe back over to the Turbo Aero in the X-Plane world. I don't know. Black Fox, can't argue that, man. Uh-oh. Whoa-oh. Whoa, boy. That was... Talk about FSX flashbacks. I just had one right there. Pause. Little blue spinning wheel of death. Then the white screen of death. But luckily, all is well, at least right now. Whew. Okay, just about ready to make our turn, by the way. This is, again, kind of a funky departure. If you tuned in a little bit late, this is what it does. The Padres 2. So instead of just taking you out and kind of shooting you directly up to Las Vegas, you head up the coast here, kind of towards LAX, and then you get into that that line of traffic, that traffic pattern that takes you up to Vegas. So right there, we're at that turn right now, making that turn, heading to Vegas. LA Harbor, LAX right there. One of the guys that Dakota Pilot knows has flown the A2A from London to Sydney via the Kangaroo route. Ooh, now going Sydney to London via San Francisco. Ooh, oh, in the Connie? Yeah. That's interesting. The Kangaroo route, I've never heard of that. Commander Keen. Thought that coastline looked familiar. Yep, we're in SoCal and we're freezing again. Oh no. What in the world? All right, here we go. There's our turn. I was wanting to get a nice panoramic shot for you here of the turn. Welcome to the stream, Commander Keen. I would tell you this is prop culture. I tell you, welcome to prop culture, and you're probably wondering why am I in 737 if it's prop culture. Well, it's just we're doing some testing, add-on testing. This is one of my planes in the hangar that I break out from time to time. It's a vintage plane now. I justify it by saying that I fly propeller-driven GA aircraft and vintage aircraft, and I felt guilty having this one in there because it didn't really fit. But I do think now I can call it a vintage aircraft because PMDG has come out with the the NGXU. So yeah, so this goes down now in the category of guilty pleasure. Yeah, forget about that. Forget about that. I do have a 737-200 that is an absolute blast to fly. It's a captain sim. I'm trying to hold off. I really want the FlyJ sim 737-200. But since I already have the captain sim, it's kind of hard to justify it. But anyway, so yeah, I have way too many planes in the hangar, and then a huge wish list. It's pretty crazy. Thanks for the follow, by the way. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, by the way, if you want to check back in after this flight here. And yeah, the thing you're going to enjoy about this stream is not necessarily anything that I'm doing, but there's a fantastic group of people that come in here and hang out with me that you need to get to know. Keep your eye on that downwind sim guy, that's all I can say. So Dakota Pilot is talking about London via the Middle East, Indonesia, Australia. Yeah, I know you were working on something similar to that. I flew the DC-3 on the Blue Spruce route, which is North America across the North Atlantic to over to England when it was the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and that was kind of fun. But that, again, you've got to devote some time and not be in a big hurry. But it was fun. For the Bluegrass Virtual Airline, England to Australia. In fact, I think that you may have been doing that the first time I met you. You were up flying the DC-3 going somewhere on that route. So Commander Keen, are you Agent Bravo 7? Is she hinting that you're an MD-11 guy? That's pretty cool. That's another aircraft I think is awesome. I do welcome any real-world pilot help, commentaries. Oh, the vintage glass is a thing. Yeah, I got you. That's right. That's true. Okay, so let us see here. What do we need to do? What do we need to do? Progress page. So we're looking at Las Vegas at about 2200 Zulu. So about 45 minutes or so. And yeah, we're coming up here not too far from the top of descent, so I think we can maybe do some descent planning. Might as well. Unfortunately, again, no ATC. There's ATC all around us, but nothing here. So we're just going to be our own air traffic controller. We are coming in on the Kepik 6. So let's just have a little look-see at that guy right there. And we're taking the Misson transition, so we'll be at 240 at Misson. We'll be at 13,250 knots at Clar, up here to Kepik, where we need to be at 13,000. Then Ipami, 11,000 and down to 230 knots. Then Nipso at 9,000. Sunset, 8,210. We do have a holding point at Boulder City if we need it. Chips at 8,000 and 170 knots, and then on to Poker and Prino, and on to we're filing 26 left. So let's go in. We're going to just double check that those are set in the FMC like they should be. Let's see here. Actually, first of all, let's do the descent forecast just to help with our calculations, help our FMC make the calculations that we need to. This is what I use to help with that, by the way. Las Vegas, and I just kind of look at these numbers right here. Again, it's all estimates, but it helps with top of descent and rate of descent and all that good stuff. So I'll just plug in. We're 310 right now, so at 180 our winds, according to Active Sky, 322 and 44. Sorry. 322. So out of the north-ish at 44 knots. Down at 9,000. We have 331 at 20. Oh, geez, Louise. That's the wrong spot. 331 at 20. There. 18,000 again was 322 at 44. And then down closer to the ground, 3,000. That'll be kind of our last measurement. Winds are 100 at 4. So fairly nice day, as it is this time of year in Las Vegas. Let's see. We'll be using flaps 30 on the arrival. Come back and check this here in just a second. Let's step through our waypoints here. So Meeson, Misson, however you say that. Yep, it's supposed to be 240. That's what's in there. Clar, 13,250. That's incorrectly. Kepik, 13,000. Ipami, 11,230. That's incorrectly. Nipso, 9,000. Sunset, 8,210. Yep, those are good. Kimi, 8,210. Chips, 8,170. All right, that looks fantastic. Let's go back here to the INIT ref page. ILS 26 left is what we have programmed in. So we need to set 259 as our course headings. We'll go ahead and put these in. It looks like it's going to be maybe a visual day, but again, I always program in the ILS just in case, and just to stay current in doing that. So there it is, once, two, and three times. 11150 needs to go down here. 1150 entered once. I see it twice, three times. All right, we're good. By the way, you do have to have it in both FMCs if you want to do an auto land. So again, that's just kind of what I just try to always be, plan for the worst, hope for the best type of thing. So Commander Keen is another GA, another propeller head. That's cool. Yep, that's awesome. That's what we like to do here. Never flown in Class A. Yep, welcome. Yeah. Dakota pilot loves to fly the stuff he never got to fly in real life. Yeah. Such an underrated part of this sim, I think, is being able to bring those old planes back to life. So 240. I'm going to actually just spin this all the way down to 8,000. That's where I need to be at chips, and then we'll just watch, monitor our descent as we go here. We need to be the first one we need to hit is missing at 240. So there's a Super Viking that I read about in a book I'm currently reading. Yeah, makes sense, I guess, right? And I had never heard of it, but it's the coolest looking plane. I think it's like one of the faster single engine planes. It's got retractable gear. It can go 200 knots, and it's not something. There's a freeware version of it that's almost close enough that an add-on snob like myself would fly, but not quite there. So I'm really hoping somebody works on the Super Viking at some point in time. They don't have to be in a big hurry again, because I still have too many planes left to figure out right now. But so Dakota, yep, he's a Constellation guy. Obviously, the name would tell you he is very, very experienced in the DC-3. Did you check out Plane Commander for X-Plane? Another add-on. Plane Commander lets you set radios, gear. I think you told me about that a while back, and no, I have not. I need to. Yeah, the Belanca. Yeah, but no, I haven't. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm going to make a note to myself here and go check that out. I remember you using it, and yeah, that's cool. Black Fox loves the DC-3. Did you see the Airplane Heaven DC-3 is again being teased? It was supposed to be released last June, and all they did was share a bunch of screenshots and then make excuses for, oh, it's not ready, and which, no big deal. If it's not ready, it's not ready. But don't post a teaser and don't say coming. I don't remember if it's June 1st or July 1st or something like that. Don't say that. It looks amazing, it really does, and I think Airplane Heaven looks like they do pretty good work, but I was a little off-put by that, and you know, I don't think that's right to string somebody along like that. So anyway, but so back to that Belanca. It's a cool looking plane. It's my kind of jam, man. I think that looks like a fun little single engine that can get up and go. I like the low and slow, but sometimes it's nice to put the hammer down and get from point A to point B quickly and smoothly. And that's probably why at some point in time, something like the TBM or the Pilatus PC-12 is going to end up in the hangar. All right, there we go. Top of descent has been reached. We are now on our way down into Las Vegas. I did never turn off the fasten seatbelt signs, but I'd be putting that back on right now. It was a pretty nice day. We could have had people up and moving about. Although maybe they don't do that anymore. Do they, on these bigger planes, do they just leave the seatbelt light on? I don't know. We did. You're going to notice a big difference in scenery now, by the way, as we move out of the SoCal area and into Nevada. We're kind of out of the range of what the Orbix mesh gives us. Still not bad. I mean, this is a global mesh by Orbix, but it's not as detailed, obviously, as what you see there and when you get to California. I am going to do another flight after this, Kenny. I have to take a short break and help my wife with a couple quick things, but I think what I'm going to do is hop out to Hawaii and fly around a little bit. We flew out there about a month ago and only made about half the flight that I was wanting to. So I think I will maybe just take a short break here. So what is it? It's about 2:30 my time. We'll be on the ground a little after 2200 Zulu. So I would say I'd say by you know, midnight Zulu, there's a good chance to get back on. Yeah, Commander Keen, and I'm working my way that way, by the way. X-plane and ortho, man, that's another strong strong reason to go with X-plane. In fact, that's kind of part of why I want to go fly down in Hawaii tonight, because I cooked a bunch of ortho down there for the islands. And by the way, nothing like the smell of fresh ortho in the morning. Am I right? You know, just filled the house with that sweet smell of ortho baking in the oven. So yeah, I'm feeling like maybe the Turbo Commander down there somewhere. that's the disk drive straining. Yeah, I have two right now, kind of two dedicated SSDs for ortho, but I'm going to need a third at least. All told, I have 6 terabytes that I've been working on, and it's not going to be enough. I realize that, but it's going to be plenty for what I'm needing to do right now. Most of what I've done is like the mountains in the west and British Columbia, so that I can fly places like Fish Lake and Moose Creek, Nehemiah Valley, stuff like that. Yeah. Evo 860s. Yeah, they're cheap. 1 terabyte. Isn't it crazy? The thought of a terabyte just a few years ago, you're like, oh my goodness, that's so awesome. You know, I mean, that's so much space. You're set for life. It never works out that way. What's the name? What comes after terabyte? Scientists can't come up with names soon enough, I don't think. Petabyte. How much for a 2 petabyte disk do you think? SSD. They don't even have them yet, probably, right? They're coming. Our grandkids are going to be talking about, yeah, my cell phone, it's a piece of junk. It's a 2 terabyte cell phone is all. I can't do anything with it. Can barely VR in it. Also, Commander King, yours already does have a terabyte. Okay, I actually have a Note. What do I have? A Note 6? I wonder what I have. I get it. My work buys it for me. No, I have an S10. So I must have the same thing. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane the power that we have in our hands with those cell phones. Okay, let's do, while we're on our way in, let's do a couple more things here. Let's brief we briefed the arrival, let's brief the approach. We are 26 left. We need a runway or a localizer frequency of 111.5, a heading of 259, which again I believe we have all that in there already, but we'll just triple check it. Yep. We will be there's some mountains here to contend with by Boulder City, and also here to the east of the airfield. They should not come into play. We should turn on a left base far before we get to that hill, but it's 5,445, which again we're at Preno, so we're at 8,000, so even if something should happen, we are above that terrain. We're going to be coming in and landing into the current weather here at McCarran. 100 at 4. Oh boy, that's changed a little bit there, my friends. That has changed. That is that's not the same as it was just a bit ago, so might be too late. We're already on the arrival. We do have 8 left and 8 right that we could use. I'm curious as to if they've switched around the flow just yet, or if they're just kind of waiting it out. All right, we're just going to assume that we're going to stay on 26 left. If we do have a missed approach, we're going to climb to 3,100. The airport elevation is 2,180, so we'll climb 1,000 feet. We'll turn right. We'll climb to 7,000 to the BLD VORTAC and hold at 7,000. So that's Boulder City. So we'll come in here, we'll make this right-hand turn all the way around to Boulder City. Basically right traffic. Okay. I wonder why they have us do that instead of left traffic. That's strange. Okay, approach is briefed. Our barometric pressure right now is 2999. That is set. Over 200 bucks, Kenny says, for a 2 terabyte SSD. I think that's about what I paid for mine. Okay, do we see the airfield yet? I don't know that we do. Might be on the other side of this ridge line here. Might be down in this valley still a bit. New airport debrief. I do actually have a new airport. I have the... Who the heck made it? I don't know who made it, but I do have the updated airport. And we are going to Charlie 14, so Charlie Gate. So we're going to have, as we come in here, 26 left. We're probably going to be exiting somewhere down here, Alpha 6 or Alpha 7. We will cross 26 right, come up on Bravo to our oops, sorry, Charlie Gate right here. And yeah, we should probably let's just get a feel for exactly where that's at. Terminal map, iFly, there we go. There is a restricted MOA around the Nevada test site. Yep. Oh, is there? Sorry. Yeah, I do believe there is. You know, the weird thing about iFly, they got too dang many weird kind of pop-up ads. I almost am done using it because of that. All right. Concourse C. Maybe. Concourse, I don't know. Concourse C. There we go. Click on it. Charlie 14. Charlie 14. Looks like we're right on this left-hand edge, so that'll be pretty easy to find. All right, very good. So just right there off of Bravo 5. Let's check and see if there's that restricted area that he's talking about. It is, I know what you're talking about. Up here, I think there's one. Yep. North of the airfield. I don't think there's anything south. That's another reason why I'm surprised our go around is a right-hand turn. Sure wouldn't want to wander out into one of these training mission places. Restricted areas. All right. Back to business. Oh, MOA isn't restricted. Sorry. I was trying to remember. Forley did a really good stream the other day that was explaining the differences of that. I guess I need to go back and watch it again. I didn't realize there were so many of those, like so many different types of areas, restricted areas. All right, down we go. 12,000. We're hitting our marks, by the way, which is good. We actually we're leveled at 13. That's where we need to be as Skeeber, and our speed should be coming back. Yep, 250. That's very good. I don't know why it's saying drag required, because we're there. Must have been an earlier message. As we get down to Kepik, 13,000, we'll maintain our speed. Then Ipami will slow to 230. And we have quite a long downwind here, so we have plenty of time to kind of get configured and stabilized and all that good stuff. There was a little bit of a scenery stutter. I'm going to put a auto brake 2 in. And we're not quite under 10,000 yet, so I'll leave the lights off and the continuous ignition off. I mean, P3D, you're so close to having, so close to having pretty awesome scenery, default, scene. Like this town and everything isn't too bad, but then the edges are just like, yeah, no. So, and then just the random square fields out there in the desert. So close. What are the thumb wheels on the yoke for? These guys here, you talking about? I think that they are, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Agent Bravo 7 or anyone, but I think they're trim. Other side. Oh, so these are, you can, like if you are like me and you can't remember what your aircraft number is, you can make it right there, 675. All right, here we go. Around the horn. Las Vegas right over there. Flight number, frequencies, yep. And this has, like common checklist items and stuff too. I don't use that, but you have the ability if you wanted to go through all that stuff. Pressurization, do we have all that set? Yes, we do. Anti-ice, we not needed. Approach brief discussed. Fuel. I think we have plenty of fuel. I don't remember where to check the fuel. We check the fuel down there in progress page. But anyway, it's yeah. And then this on this side, right? That's, again, if I'm not mistaken, that's, yeah, that's, so you trim up, down, and then this is the horizontal trim. Autopilot disengage, obviously. It's a pretty cool, pretty distinct yoke. There's our Las Vegas scenery. This is a frame rate tester for sure. You can see it's really loading in pretty slow. We'll see what it's like when we get on the ground. Before the new CPU, there were combinations that I just could not fly, like it. The Phenom 300, I could not fly out of Las Vegas. It was just like, it almost was like 1 frame per second bad. So here's our runway right here. We're going to get, again, we're going to head down this way before these bluffs. Make a left-hand turn and come in to 26 left. Terminal area is right here. We were saying Bravo 5. No, I think one's pitch, and then again one is yaw. Commander Keen. All right, how are we doing? We hitting our spots here? Yes, we are. 230. We do need to slow down just a little bit. We're a little quick right here, but once we get leveled out, we'll be able to bring that down. If we need to, we can pull the speed brakes back and cut some speed. We need to be 210 at the turn and then 170 as we vector ourselves toward the localizer. I'm going to make a call just to make sure there's nobody on the ground. Las Vegas traffic, Southwest 1402. We're entering the pattern left-hand downwind for runway 26 left, Las Vegas. The wind has kind of been, yep, still 100 at 4, so there may be some guys that are wanting to depart to the east instead of like we are in the westerly flow. I don't know how many people are. Let's see. 5 departures, 6 arrivals. Looks like I'm the only one coming in right now, but that doesn't mean there's not somebody on the ground that's wanting to head out. Alright, I have visual. Okay, under 10,000. We'll turn the lights on. Starters to continuous. We'll leave that on. We'll turn the logo lights on, even though we really don't need the logo lights. It's daytime. Descent path unachievable. I don't agree with that. Drag required. That may be so. I don't need to go below 8,000. Yeah, 8,000. All right, so it may have leveled us out to slow us down a little bit. Yes, it has. All right, so we need to get down to 8,000 and 210 knots. So we'll set that in, and we're going to go ahead and just use VS. Get ourselves down to 8,000. I'll go ahead and throw the spoilers on just so we can get down to that speed. Yeah, I don't have it set to render very far in the distance, so you can kind of see that's a little bit of an issue. That right there is where my graphics card, you can see it still needs updated. But the CPU was first, and I'm glad I did it because it's really going to set the tone for everything else. Alright, so we're doing pretty good. We can toss that speed brake back down close to 210. Again, we want on the turn here, Kimmy, we want to be down to 210 and at 8,000, and then
McCarran traffic, Delta 832, departing runway 26 right, McCarran.
Okay, so they're still in that west flow, which is good. All right, there's 1,000 to go. We're looking good here. Next speed restrictions 170. Go ahead and throw that in. I actually could put a notch of I'll put the slats out here just to try to control that speed a little bit. I'm not going to descend more than 1,000 feet per minute. I think we're in good shape. We're going to level out here, and then our speed will come down, and we'll be in great shape for our approach. Chug a chug a chug. Yep, that's kind of what it is. But little by little, you know, a year ago I added doubled the RAM in the machine, which was nice. I actually did more than that. It was 8 megs of RAM, and I went to 32, so that really helps. And then, like I say, I went from I'm almost embarrassed to say it, I went from an i3 to an i9, which that's a major upgrade. And I'm still rolling with the 1060 graphics card. But maybe next Christmas I'll have money saved for, you know, a better graphics card. I also have 2 kids in college, and that's kind of really putting the crimp on my flight sim budget here. I'm actually slowing down a little sooner than I needed to. We're still 7 miles from Kimmy, which I'm supposed to be at 210. As you can see, I'm slowing below 190, but that's okay. We'll be there. We'll be ready. 8,000 is where I need to be, again, at Preno, so that we can intercept the glide slope. Yeah, it's not a bad car. That's why I left it. I mean, it's workable. It does everything I need to do, so I'm okay with that. It's just it really shows up in the scenery, I think. But both of these sims, P3D and X-Plane, are so processor driven, you know what I mean? So it just made sense to spend the money early on the i9. Plus it's a little cheaper. Graphics cards are a little bit pricier. Yep, that's what you maybe told me that, Dakota Pilot, because I was asking around, believe me.
I was trying to Rumba 81, departing to the north, 3 left, Nellis.
Okay. All right, there we go. So yeah, an i7, that's all right. I mean, I almost bought an i7 just because you can get them now pretty cheap. But yeah, I think the i9 is going to do me for a long time. And then I had to. So the big thing was I had to upgrade my motherboard because I was, unbeknownst to me, I was running a Mini on the computer that I bought, and it didn't support the i9, and so I had to buy a bigger motherboard, which then meant I had to buy a bigger case. Anyway, you guys all know the saga. I'm not going to bore you with that again. I shared pictures on the Discord of Frankenputer. It sure looked funny with all the components essentially just laid out on the shelf, all hooked up. Everything ran perfect. Just everything was out in the open for God and the world to see. i7 4790, 32 gig, yep, 1080. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of combinations that work, man. And you never have, you know, I don't want NASA fast. I just want like something that's in the ballpark. If a guy can get like a generation behind, that's like the sweet spot, I think. Usually pick up decent prices for the equipment, but you're also not so old and obsolete that you can't actually run what you need to run. Alright, well, we are getting ready to make this turn, guys, and again, as you see, the terrain is coming up upon me. I remember the first time I came in here, I actually made the call to the approach controller saying, what am I supposed to do with this hill? And he's like, don't worry, you got plenty of room. Alright, we'll make this call so the guys on the ground know what we're doing. At Las Vegas Tower, Southwest 1402, we're making a left base, runway 26 left, Las Vegas. And I know it's not technically this far out of base, but anyway. So the RTX 2070, that's kind of what my IT guys at school tell me, that I need to be looking at that RTX technology. But it's the wave of the future. The VR stuff. Yep. That would be, Downwind Sim could speak to that. He runs VR. And he probably, I mean, he's got himself a pretty nice setup. But as cool as those VR systems are, they do need plenty of horsepower. Yeah. Hopefully that'll be about the time I'm looking forward to buying a new graphics card. That'll be the next generation of that RTX. So we'll see. I'm not. 2080 looks good. 2080 Super looks really good. Price tag doesn't look so good. All right, I'm just going to stay on the magenta line. I'm not going to worry about vectoring to intercept or anything like that. This is going to get me where I need to go, and I don't have any kind of glide slope yet, so I'm not in any big hurry. Plus, I'm putting off a little honeydew that I'm supposed to be working on right now. You guys were supposed to remind me of that, by the way. I may be in trouble. I might be grounded from my second flight today because of that. Las Vegas traffic, Southwest 1402. We're turning final, runway 26 left, Las Vegas. Trier, thank you, Downwind Sim. Actually, here's the deal. It's replacing the sheets on the bed so that she can take her afternoon nap. She gets very owly. Oh man, it's almost 3 o'clock. Oh boy. I should have probably flew the visual arrival just so I could have helped her with the make the bed a little faster. Wow, look at the smog kind of haze move in there. What's up with that? All right, here we go. Yeah, sorry, Mrs. Fox. I screwed up. All right, there's the localizer. And still no glide slope. We're going to maintain 170 until 5 DME. Extreme canceled. She's going to take the battery out of my mouse or something. Now, in my defense, I did ask before I started this flight. I said, now, dear, is there anything else I can help with? And she said no. So the timing is a little off. I get that. But, okay, you're right. That's no defense. There's our glide slope. All right, good deal, good deal. And it looks like we can go ahead and just arm the approach. There comes the city, the Black City they call it, I think, right? Las Vegas, the Black City. Oh no, that's just in my sim. I'm sorry, Mrs. Fox. Man, I did a lot of honeydews today too. All right, well, ref speed, what did we say ref speed was? Let's go check again here. So buck 48 plus 5, 153, is that right? Or no, that already is plus 5. Okay, here we go. Second notch of flaps coming in. We'll slowly bring things down. One thing I didn't do that I usually do, I forgot to put the fix rings in. Oh well, too late for that. I like to put fix rings in at 10, 7, and 4. That's a hint from flight deck to sim. And he says 10 is when you kind of start configuring your flaps to slow down, and 7 is when you should start to think about gear, and then you should be fully configured no later than 4 DME. So we'll shoot for that here as well. We're still a ways out. I don't know that I need to be down to ref speed just yet. We'll keep it at 1. Oh, I was supposed to say 170 to 5 DME, wasn't I? Yeah, shoot. So I was really supposed to stay 170 till right before Shand, or at least at Shand. Alright, well, we're a little slow. That's just the way it's going to go. Again, elevation 2,181. Missed approach is climb runway heading to 4,100. Excuse me, 3,100. Then a right-hand climbing turn to 7,000. Out to the Boulder City VOR and hold. Alright, flaps 5. Looks good. Flaps 15. Yep, there's the gear horn warning. Sorry, I was just about to hit you, sir. Gear coming down. We'll set our speed 153. We're on the glide. We're on the localizer. And what do we have? We're about 8 mile final right now. Las Vegas traffic, Southwest 1402, 8 mile final, runway 26 left, Las Vegas. Still have that crazy wind out of the northeast, unfortunately. 100 at 4 knots. So gonna be pushing us a little bit. That's okay. Yep, there comes the TCAS alive. Got a lot of guys on the ground here, as you might expect. Well, it shouldn't be a lot of guys. I think there were 4 departures getting ready. Cool, I'm glad. I love the sounds. This is one of the things that really draws me to this plane. Alright, there we go. Flaps 30. Fully configured. And lights are on. Gear down 3 green. Flaps 30. Altimeter set. Everything else looks good. Runway's clear. No one holding short. No one on approach the other way. All good things. Gump. Yep. Autopilot off. Getting just a hair low on this approach, aren't I? Eyes down the runway, as my CFI downwind sim would say. Speed's looking okay, maybe a little slow. Drifted to the right just a little bit. And now I ended up a little too high. Well, alright. Doggone it. Must have been way off. I didn't have any calls. Oh boy, I'm long. I am super long. Holy cow. Alright, we're down. Way long. Reversers. Manual braking. We'll just go ahead and tour every last foot of this runway for you guys, as long as we're here in the new scenery. There we go. That's how you do it. That's how you come in too high and glide halfway down the runway. That's a free lesson. You'll probably want to clip that for later on. Las Vegas traffic, Southwest 1404. We're clear 26 left. Alright, well, you know, look, they spent the money to pave the whole thing. Yeah, a guy might as well use it. Alright, clear left, clear right. Las Vegas traffic, Southwest 1404. We're going to cross 26 right on Alpha 8, Las Vegas. One last check, just make sure no one's down there and no one's on the roll. No one's coming in this way. Alright, we're good. Let's see if I can find my gate. We are, what did I say, Charlie 14, right? Charlie 14. Request to follow me. No, I don't want to follow me. I just want to get there. We want southwest. Alright, cool. It is in the near corner that we come up on, and we thought Bravo 4 would be a good spot. If I recall. Yep, Bravo 5 is what we're looking for. I'm getting laughed at. I don't know what's going on in the chat right now, but I guarantee you downwind sim is behind it. Runway turnoffs can come off. Don't need those anymore. We don't need to be on RATA. We can just go to standby. I will catch up with you boogers on the chat here in just a little bit. I can turn the probe heats. Oh, they were off the whole time. That ain't good. Should have had that. Should have had a warning for that. Interesting. Okay, well, it's going to be a little bit of a short taxi in, just again because I need to get myself up and finish out with my wife here and her chores. So as I'm taxiing in, let me talk about a couple things. Again, we might be back on later on tonight in the X-Plane world down messing around in Hawaii, hopefully. If you don't see me later on, you might want to alert officials and have them come check on me. But everything else, as far as next week is concerned, it's a little bit, I have some things planned, obviously, but there's some stuff going on with the Virtual USA Flying Club that may cause me to change my plans. So they have a bonus flight scheduled for this coming up Monday, so I might be doing that instead of my usual plan. But here's the stream schedule coming up next week. On Tuesday, I'm going to be in the Flight 1 King Air 200 Super doing the Chicagoland Challenge. Again, super excited to fly the Super. I thought it was an add-on that was dead and gone and was no longer going to be useful to me, but it's been resurrected with the new CPU. So that'll be Tuesday. Then Thursday, it's episode 6. Can you believe it? Episode 6 of the Nowhere Fast series. And we're flying from, this is Bravo 6 right here, isn't it? We are flying from Fish Lake, which is in Idaho, down to the famous Johnson Creek airstrip, and I've wrestled with this route for quite a while. There's a lot of different choices, a lot of options, but that's where we're going to start. That's where we're going to finish. There's more information on the Discord. If you want to join me, there are some scenery considerations that you may need to look for. Oh, there's my gateway over there. How do I get there? I feel like I turned too soon. But hit me up on the Discord and we can talk scenery. I've got things built. I've got some things downloaded from other guys like Steve PHL and Mr. X. So there'll be I think 4 or 5 airfields that we'll hit. Little mountain bush strips if you like that kind of stuff. That's coming up on Thursday. And then next Saturday, a week from today, another Virtual USA Flying Club event. It's the Long Island Sound Fly-In, and that should be again a lot of fun as well. So things coming up on the radar. Appreciate everybody here that tagged along and gave me a hard time, and you should be teasing me about my taxiing skills, guys. I'm supposed to be way up there and I'm not even close. I really am not even close. I don't know if you're allowed to do this, but I'm going to kind of just go across, cut across here. Let me check on the chat real quick before I shut her down for the night. And I don't need taxi anymore. I don't need weather. I don't need that. I don't need terrain. All those radars can get turned off. Virtual GA checking in late. Sorry I missed you, man. I'm glad you popped in. I'll be back on here probably in a couple of hours down messing around in Hawaii, unless my wife kills me. That's a long story. But yeah, I want even wear on the runway. I like that, Dakota Pilot. That's a great way to look at it. You know, you don't want to just wear out the one side there. You want to go all the way down. And plus, I didn't, not extra wear and tear on the brakes. I'm sure that was a super soft landing. I pretty much just rolled on down. So yeah, there's a method to my madness. The landing rate, I think the landing rate probably was long with like 4 O's. We will test out the brand spanking new, well, it's not new, it's new to me, the brand spanking new landing rate calculator, though, when I go to Hawaii tonight and fly the, I think I've made a decision. It's going to be the Just Flight Turbo Aero down there in the Hawaiian Islands. So we'll test it out. Downwind Sim found it, and you'll have an opportunity. You already knew my landings were bad. Now you will have empirical data to verify that. So, all right, there comes our guy saying we're looking good. Kenny Monster, the what is now traditional ouch my back. Is it in there? It's got to be there somewhere. Yep, Black Fox episode 6 of that Nowhere Fast. I can't believe it. And we're not even out of Idaho yet, so it really truly has been Nowhere Fast. But I've got a couple sceneries that were suggestions from followers, and so that's part of why we're doing what we're doing. It's been amazing. 1514, I have no idea. 54321. All right, I think we're pretty close. I'm not going to worry about shutting her down, or I am going to shut it down, but I'm not going to make you all look at the guy waving me off. But I am going to go because I need to make it up to my wife and figure out how I can make it better for missing out on what I was thought I was okay to not do, but now I have to do. So anyway, wish me well, say a little prayer for me, and hopefully I'll see you back in a couple of hours, maybe sooner, depending on how things go upstairs. But until next time, you guys take care, and God bless.